This is Mario once again, and in this video I am working on a project here. I brought my helicopter from the 90s. This is a rubber powered helicopter that I developed under MIA Designs before we were MIA Microflight, and I brought these a line of these rubber powered helicopters in sort of this style that you see here. This is based on the Hughes 500, the tear shape iconic helicopter. And so this became very popular in those years as I was producing these three-dimensional helicopters. At that time, there were a couple designs out there, or maybe a few, and they were mainly stick in just balsa stick and rubber, nothing fancy that you see here. And so I decided to do these during the early 90s, mid 80s to early 90s is when I did a lot of this experimentation with rubber powered helicopters, and I created dozens of these designs here. What I've shown on the internet is only a fraction of the stuff that I produce. I have uploaded some new videos that shows a little more diverse designs that you know, the full line that I did at a show, Chicago Model and Hobby Show, back in the early 90s, late 80s, I think it was. And so I decided to bring back this design here, which including some people have lifted this particular profile here and decided to call it their own. There's one guy that did that, and I called him out in another video. You know, they got me started back on this project here, and so I decided to bring this back onto a modern CAD system here. I did do this originally on a CAD and an old Macintosh computer, one of the first ones that came out, you know, back in the day. And so I decided to just bring the design back into this computer so that I can start laying out what you see here. And so this is allowing me to analyze it, you know, on the computer and start doing some 3D printed parts. This was all done with balsa, you know, the motor mount, all this stuff right here. And even though I already did some parts in 3D printed form, such as the pulleys and the motor mount. And once again, this is a very not an elaborate design. I didn't use gears. I didn't use flex cables as I did with my Bell 47G rubber powered, or my MIA Shark helicopter, which uses a flex cable. All that is in videos that I have been uploading. And so I kept this very simple, and you know, just to keep it lightweight, flyable, and have a much longer flight times. You know, because when you start introducing components such as gears or even flex cables, you know, you start adding weight to it. And the trick with helicopters is because unlike the counterparts, the aircraft, you know, just a regular airplane that has the ability to glide, and once again the wings get create lift. You know, a helicopter is run by brute power all the time, and so you got to maintain. You got to maximize the power, you know, to the weight of the helicopter, and that's a little tricky to do. You know, with lots of mechanics, lots of gears, and stuff like that. As I said, I did use gears on my Bell 47G, and I did some even more complex designs that use a combination of components to get you know, maximize the torque as well as the speed of the rubber motor. And so what you're seeing here is the more simplistic version that actually flew great in those days. And hopefully once I get done with this project, I'll be able to do some flights. Back in the day, I didn't have, you know, we didn't have the ability to do videos as we do with our cell phones. And so back in those days, if you could get a hold of a VHS camera, you know, somebody that you knew, or they were expensive back in the day, you know, when they first came out. And so it wasn't that feasible, you know, to do videos, and that's why I don't have videos of my products, because at that time, like I said, it was you know, we don't have this technology with the cell phones. But now that we have a cell phone, as I'm videotaping this with a cell phone, you know, I should be able to do some flight videos. I already did a video of another freestyle helicopter a couple days ago. My wife was able to videotape that, and I'll post that just to give you an idea of the level of type of helicopters that I produce. And basically all the stuff that I'm doing is nothing more than a revamp all my older stuff. So here we have, I brought this into another program here. to establish the artwork. And so I've already done the artwork. I actually reduced the size of this helicopter because this helicopter is actually close to 20 inches in length from end to end. And so I decided to shrink this to about 14 inches. And I already printed this, and I'm starting to build this the model as I did, back in the old days, with the framework. And so what you're looking here is the printouts. I can only print this on regular paper. And just to give you an idea of what I'm after is I'm after something like this. You can see this airplane I did the same way, and these are airplanes that are done, with printed paper, very lightweight structures. And this is actually an electric one-cell operated radio control model here that you see here. And so I plan on doing something similar to these guys here, but first I'm going to run it as a rubber-powered helicopter. Radio control helicopters is nothing new to me, as I developed some of the, I pioneered some of the very first micro, sub-micro, and palm-sized helicopters. For those that have been following, MIA Designs, it's just my name or my company name under MIA Designs, MIA Microflight. MIA Designs was actually a company that catapulted additional work under MIA Microflight, and so that's why I keep the MIA Designs as my email address without the vowels, MIADSGNS. You'll notice that. And so I talk about these things also a little bit, a little background, in my website. But these are the printouts that I'm about to assemble here with the tail boom right here. Let's see if I can find that particular one with the tail boom, because I can only print this on an 8.5 by 11. And so once I assemble this, I have to cut this, minimize the weight, and cut this just to put enough overlap that I can have the full helicopter. And so this is my profile here, and so this is going to be a very, very spiffy helicopter, very much in the same line that I just showed that other. And just to give you another idea, you can see some of the profile pilots that I've used. This is the famous MIA pilot that I've used in helicopter designs, the larger helicopter designs, radio control, way back, I don't know, 20 some years. I have some videos on my YouTube channel that you can see that, but these are the ones that I've been doing for one cell operation. And so the process is the same. As you can see, the wings right there. I have several of these little ultralights. Here's another ultralight behind there. And so this is where I'm coming from as far as going back to redoing my helicopters. And just for comparison's sake, this is part of the plan that I used to supply. I cut this out from the plan. It's a 2x4, 2 feet by 4 feet sheet of the plan, where I have the instructions and how to build this step by step in the plan. But this is the size reduction that I decided to do on this particular one, just to make it in line with this with these other little 1S LiPo a paper airplane designs. And so this is where I'm coming from. You can see this was when I produced this was back in '92. I used to sell these via Flying Model magazine, which was catered. It would used to cater to the indoor flight crowd. And I used to post consistently there for a number of years under Earl Van Gorder, Flying Things for Fletchings column. If you have some of those old magazines around between the early 90s and up to I think 94, 95, 96, you probably see a good portion of the stuff that I was producing, and I have shown that also in some other videos. So this is where I'm at, and so this is as I said in many videos, I tend to work on various projects at the same time. I just recently did a quarter scale MIA Quicksilver style RC ultralight. You can see that in one of my recent videos, and I keep switching from one project to the other ones, because that's the way I work. My mind just I work on several projects at the same time. A little bit here, a little bit there, and depending on my mood, I may end up finishing one, in one shot. Sometimes when I did the Quicksilver style quarter scale, I actually went 2 days without any sleep, which is not good to do that. It takes a toll on the body, but I tend to recover, and I've been doing that, on and off for, since I embarked on doing all this stuff under MIA Designs, MIA Microflight. So my body has gotten used to it, and I do recharge my body. Obviously, you have to, because otherwise I'd be like a zombie, every day. So I do recharge, and I tend to eat, carefully, have a good diet, so that I can maintain doing this. Because if you're not healthy, it takes a toll on you, and that's that's something very important that I always keep it in the back of my mind. I cannot afford to get sick if I want to do this type of work, because I truly like doing this, and more than anything, I like designing things, as you probably have been able to tell by the stuff that I've been showing. All the stuff I like to design from scratch. They're not copies of anything. I do get inspired by the full aircraft. All the stuff has been inspired by the full size aircraft, and that's how I approach my projects. And there's a lot of originality and uniqueness to everything that I do, and you will not see this on any other on any other channel. Unfortunately, my views don't get as many views as some of these crazy views that people get for stuff that that's not to the scale, not to this caliber of detail and precision and quality that I show. I don't know how those people get views in the millions. Maybe they're linked with some other account, or somebody sponsoring them. I don't have sponsors. I don't, like I've said in many videos, I don't like working under the tables. I don't like to owe favors to people. Um, I'll do a favor to somebody, and if they want to repay me, that's fine. I don't expect people to repay me when I do favors to them, but I don't like to be under the pressure of owing somebody a favor. That's not how I've never been fond of that type of operation there, and therefore I don't work on the under tables. I don't. I'm not promoted by sponsors, and it's not that I don't that I'm not friendly in that respect. I mean, I would welcome a sponsorship, but I just don't. It never requires sponsorship. I let my stuff do the talking, and this is how I work. I've been working since I started showing this on the internet. There was a company when I produced my first Robin 280 that got a hold of me, a German company that actually ended up manufacturing a competitive micro helicopter back in the early 2000s. But they had contacted me way early, around 95 or something like that, when I was showing some of my early work under a very early users group, as when the internet just had surfaced to the air. And so this company contacted me, and they asked me if I could sell them my molds, my design, and I opted not to do that, because I wanted to be able to do this myself. I don't want to sell out my company, and I'm not about to sell my company. I have had requests from a couple people that buy companies, to sell my company, but I'm not interested in selling my company, because I'm still doing this type of work, and I really enjoy doing this and showing the stuff that I've been showing, for over 30 years. So hopefully I'll be able to do this for another 10, with God's blessing, and maintaining health, and physically, and also in the mind. But this is the stuff that I've been doing, and this is just another take on that I thought I showed people, with respect to my rubber power helicopters. This is Mario once again, and stay tuned for the continuation of this project.